Hello, everyone. Welcome to TD Board Gamers. My name is Dave,
And I'm Dirk.
and today we're going to look at Dirk's top five Justice allies. So I've done a series of top fives.
Yeah, I figured it was time for me to start pulling my own
Yeah.
weight.
So all those that have been screaming, wanting Dirk's list, well, here you go.
I don't think anybody's been screaming on my list, but we'll give it to them anyways.
Probably not.
All
All
right.
right. I'm going
So,
to let Dirk take over.
okay, so I'm going to start off actually. Before I get to my top five, I do have an honorable mention because this is a character that I actually enjoy them very much, but they're very situational. However, if that situation comes up to where I'm building a deck that uses this, they're definitely probably moving way higher up on the list. But this is Monica Chang. So Monica Chang, she is a 3-cost shield ally with 2 hit points, torch for 1, attacks for 1. Of course, her response is after she enters play, you get to search your hand, deck, and discard pile. That's the great thing, your hand as well. But for a copy of a surveillance team support, P.S., spend it to play her so it's in your discard pile. No sense in pulling it out of your hand if you can do that. But you'll get a copy of that support, put it into play, and place an extra snoop counter on it. So on each surveillance team. So if you're playing her, you're probably playing more than one. I am playing more than one. I'm probably playing 3 if I'm playing her. So you potentially get an additional 3 snoop counters on her. So if I am playing and I want to actually use those surveillance teams,
counters
4.
because you put an extra one on her on the Snoop on the
Yeah, you get an
surveillance
extra 3 because 1 for her on each.
Oh, you got one.
Yeah, if you have all 3 of them out. So yeah, they'll start with 4 instead of 3. But if I am using the surveillance teams, she goes into my decks. So when I can.
This is great for the Maria hero.
Yes, she is. That is that is what put her on the top of my list. I had kind of overlooked her before that, but when the Maria hero came out and I saw how phenomenal she was with that, yeah, she bumped up on my list, and she's probably even if I'm not playing her, she might be number 6 on my list.
Yeah.
So,
So when you're playing the surveillance teams is great for the extra all-purpose counters that Maria can move around.
yes. All right. So now we get to the top 5. So my top 5 one is probably going to be one of the most expensive allies I'm going to have on a top 5 list, but I think he's worth it. Captain Britain. So he is a 4-cost aerial Excalibur. So I do love the aerial keyword on him. That is a real big deal in a lot of my Justice builds.
And the Excalibur keyword's important.
I don't know if we're ever going to see another one of those. But he has 3 hit points. He thwarts for 2, thwarts for 3, attacks for 3. He does take 2 consequential on each of those. However, if he is attacking a minion or thwarting a side scheme, he takes 1 less consequential. That is the key for him. I will almost never, I won't say never, I'll never say never, but I will almost never use him to thwart on the main or attack the villain because I love to be able to actually get the 3 out of him. So yes, he costs 4, but he gives you 3 each turn, so you could potentially get like 9 of each of those on him. So yeah, I love him for that. All right. We're gonna go with number 2. This might be the newest Justice ally, or number 4. Sorry, yeah, number 4. Might be the newest Justice ally I've got on the list, I think. Yeah, it's right up there. Tied for newest. So this is Firebird. She is a 2-cost ally. Aerial Avenger, got 2 hit points. She thwarts for 2. She attacks for 2. She does take 2 consequential. But if you've overpaid for her, so she's one of the few that by default you can overpay for her. So if you spend a 3rd resource to bring her into play, she comes in with a rebirth counter on her. I do kind of wish that she would get a rebirth counter for each one you overpaid, but I think that might make her too strong.
Especially in a Wonder Man deck.
Yeah, oh gosh. But so she comes in, and she is phenomenal. By the way, she's phenomenal with Wonder Man. But she comes in with that extra rebirth counter, so you can thwart for her once and then attack for her. Then she gets the rebirth and then do it again, thwart and attack with her. So she gets multiple instances for a cost of 3. Not quite as strong as Captain Britain's, but she does cost half the price if you're just playing her for normal. So that's probably the only reason that she's at number 4 over Captain Britain. But yeah, so she's my number 4. Number 3 is the other one that came, I think, in the same set with her,
Yeah,
but if not at the same time.
Yeah, Wonder Man.
Wonder Man. Yeah, they're both from Wonder Man. But is the Hawkeye Justice ally. So we had seen Hawkeye previously in Leadership. So this is basically very similar to him, except He does it on a thwart action instead of whenever a minion comes into play. So he's a 3-cost shield Avenger with 3 hit points, thwarts for 1, attacks for 1. But he does come in with the 4 arrow counters on him. That's what I was talking about. After an ally makes a basic thwart. So it does not have to be him that makes that basic thwart. Any ally can do it, and it can be an ally somebody else controls. But after an ally makes a basic thwart, you're going to remove an arrow counter from Hawkeye, and he's going to deal 2 damage to a minion. So he's another great way for a Justice player to kind of control the minions that are engaged with him. Or you can take out a minion or deal some damage to a minion that somebody else has got to help them get rid of it so that they don't take a big swing if they need some help there. So I do love him, and I was glad to see actually they came out with a Hawkeye variant in something other than the leadership. So we can use him in other aspects.
And use the cool counters.
Yeah, use the cool counters that we've got. All right, now my number 2 Justice ally here is Manifold. So Manifold is a 3-cost Avenger Wakanda ally with 2 hit points. Thwarts for 2, he attacks for 1. But what I like about him is the response. Again, I love the response on these guys. That's why they make my list. But his response is after he enters play, you're going to choose a player. Normally you're going to choose yourself, but you don't have to. But that player gets to search their deck and discard pile for a player side scheme and add it to their hand. I love the side schemes. So therefore, anytime I've got a chance to search for side schemes and bring them out into play, the player side schemes, I'm going to use them. I love Cable. Cable is among my favorite heroes to play, and he fits so well into a Cable deck. But and Cable's probably what put him at my number 2 spot. But anytime I'm using somebody with player side schemes, and I don't just use Justins, I use the basic ones as well if I'm not playing Cable. So, you know, and I've got that. But if somebody else has got one, yes, I will use it for them as well. So, Manifold, my number 2. And my number 1 is probably no surprise to anybody who's played much with me, Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones is a 3-cost defender ally with 3 hit points. She thwarts for 1, she attacks for 2. However, she gets +1 thwart for each side scheme in play. And depending on the scenario, she can thwart for a lot. I think we've seen her
7 or 8.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever got to the double digits. I think we've got like anywhere from 7 to 9. 7 is we've seen a few times. I think we might have gotten her up to 8 or 9. But I don't think we've seen double digits yet, but we've gotten close. So, but like, you know, if you're playing, is it Red Skull? Rise of the Red Skull?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Red Skull. You're definitely going to see a lot of them there. She works phenomenal there. If I know in advance I'm going into a scenario like that, she is one of the few allies that I will put healing in there. I will put like first aids and stuff just to keep her around if I know in advance going in. Normally we don't know, so I don't tend to use those. But yeah, I will. I love her ability. She does cost 3, so if I don't think there's going to be a lot of side schemes, I will occasionally use her for a resource. But normally I'm going to try to put her out, keep her around. So yeah, right. So she's my number 1.
All right.
Alrighty.
Well, that was Dirk's top 5 Justice allies. So hope you enjoyed that. Next will be
leadership.
Top 5 leadership. His least favorite aspect.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I had such a hard time. I don't know if I can get 5 for this.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. All right.
All right. Well, thank you for watching, everyone.
All right.
Thanks for liking and subscribe.
And if you want to see more content by us, go and hit that notification bell down there, and you'll get alerts whenever we post new videos. All right. See you.